Hi, and welcome to another edition of Rabbi K's Cuts. Very excited to be back after quite the winter break. We had wonderful trips to Israel and other locations and incredible opportunities for our students. We are now deep into the new semester here with many programs that have been inaugurated. And one of those programs, our Maimonides program, featured our first seminar the other night. And we discussed a fascinating idea that is reflected actually in this week's Torah portion. The famous beginning of this week's Torah portion, which is Parshat Terumah, says, V'yasu li mikdash, you should build for me a tabernacle, v'shachanti b'socham, and I, God, will dwell within you. And the famous question is asked throughout the centuries, shouldn't it have said, I will dwell within it? But rather it said, I will dwell within you. And the idea is that every individual is meant to make him or herself a repository for the divine presence. We build a communal mishkan, we build a communal space for divine service, but also each and every one of us on our own needs to be a walking symbol of divine service. We were talking about this in a very interesting context. There's this very fascinating dichotomy when it comes to Jewish observance. On the one hand, we know that Judaism is a religion, is a practice or set of practices with many rules and regulations, the do's and the don'ts. It's a very grounded system of extensive commitments. On the other hand, we also know that Judaism has to be personal. It has to be something into which we invest the essence of our being. Well, the idea we tried to get across in our first Maimonides seminar to these 50 wonderful young men and women encountering or embarking on a semester of Jewish exploration was that to be successful Jews, we need to straddle the fence of this dichotomy. We need to be firmly planted in both ideals, recognizing that Judaism is a set of beliefs and practices, and it has an objective standard, but that's not enough. We have to make that standard, we have to make that otherwise dry, abstract system, we have to animate it with our own being, with our own energy. So there's both dimensions. We have to know our Judaism, but we also have to own our Judaism. Much like a rock, which is splintered into many pieces, the Talmud tells us that every Jew is holding a piece of that rock. It's one rock. There's one core foundational idea or set of ideas and principles that comprise Judaism. But each and every one of us has to seize hold of our own small piece of that rock to bring ourselves to the table. May we all be blessed to have these twin abilities, both to learn about Judaism, to become literate Jews, to become knowledgeable Jews, and yet at the same time to take ownership over a Jewish journey that's vibrant, dynamic, and alive, that represents the best and most unique aspects of our individual characters. Have a wonderful, beautiful Shabbat Shalom.